Hi, in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to uh, build lessons in your Schoology classroom and move uh, a current unit to a past unit once the unit has been completed. To start, I'm going to click on Current Unit, and I'm going to see that my Science Week of folder was for 10-4 and to 10-8, which happens to be last week. So I need to move that first to past week. So I'm going to click on my gear, click on Move, and then change the destination from current unit to past weeks, and then choose Move. I now have an empty current unit folder, and I could begin building this week's lessons. So I'm going to click on Add Materials, and I'm going to choose Import from Resources. Because I add this week of folder each week, I've added it to my personal resources, but it is in group resources if you do not have it added to your personal resources yet. So I'm going to go back to my personal resources. I'm going to choose the Science Week of folder and click Import. I'm going to choose Import again. And I have a Science Week of insert dates of week. I need to first edit this to have the current week's dates. So I'm going to click on the gear, click on Edit, and I'm going to change the insert dates here to the current dates, which this week is 10/11 to 10. And I'm going to choose Save Changes. Now I can click on Science Week of folder and open that week of folder where I will begin my planning. As you can see, I have an announcement and then I have each day of the week. My first step would be to go in and make my announcement visible where they could see it without having to click on it. So I'm going to click on the gear and I'm going to click on Edit. I'm going to take away this message here and I'm going to add my own message. Hey, I want to make it a little bit bigger and I want it to stand out, so I'm going to highlight it all. I'm going to change the font color to something that is a little bit brighter, and I'm going to make it a little bit larger. And then most importantly, down here for options, I'm going to choose Display Inline instead of on a new page, and I'm going to choose Select Save Changes. So now we see that we have our reminder or announcement for the week. We'll post without having to click on it. My next step would be to go in here and change each day of this week to the correct date. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I click on the gear, click on Edit, and then I'm going to change Monday to be 10/11/21. And choose Save Changes. And I'm going to continue to do that for every day of the week. Okay, so I have every day of the week now with the correct dates by it. I'm going to go ahead and choose Monday first, and I'm going to click on Monday and open up that page. As you can see, it's not expanded, so we would need to come in and edit that just so it'll show for your students. So they don't have to click on anything. So we're going to start with Monday science work. I'm going to click on the gear. I'm going to click on Edit. And then we'll see our nice little chart here. Read, watch, listen, and do. Okay, so I'm going to start with read. And for this week's work, we're working on matter, and I have created a slideshow that I'm going to insert here for them to read for this lesson. So I'm going to click on Insert Content. I'm going to go to Google Drive Resource App. And I'm going to choose my states of matter, and I put next to it read, so I knew which one it was. I'm going to click on Import, and I'm always going to import as embedded so it automatically shows. Okay, I can adjust this a little bit if I want. I can click and make it a little bit larger. It looks like there's nothing in here. it's just yellow, but that's what it looks like in an edit mode. As soon as I save changes, you'll see the actual slideshow. So for my watch, I'm going to insert a video from YouTube. So I'm going to go click in the row next to watch, and I'm going to choose insert content one more time. And this time I'm going to choose YouTube video. I can search YouTube right here within my Schoology lesson, and I'm going to choose States of Matter. I can select it here and watch it to see if it is a good video. I do know what this video is, so I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to click the box next to it, and I'm going to choose import again. And remember, you always want to import as embedded. So once again, I can make it a little bit larger if I want. I can leave it that size. Looks yellow, but that's okay. That's just in edit mode. For this week, we don't have a listen, so I'm going to click in my row next to listen, and I'm going to choose delete row. And then for my due today, I am going to actually have them do a chapter in the book. So I'm going to, just for time's sake, do read chapter below. And then I will show you how to add that in just a second. Okay. The last thing I want to do is my options here. I want to click on display inline again and do save changes. And as you can see, I now have my States of Matter PowerPoint or slideshow that they go through. They can click through it this way. They can scroll through it. Right after that, I have my States of Matter video, and they can click on play and they can watch it play. Plays right there within that lesson. And then I have my read chapter below. So the next thing I want to do is add a lesson from the book. So I'm going to go to add materials, and I'm going to choose import from resources. This time I'm going to choose group on the left-hand side, and then under school resources, you're going to look for Dickinson Independent School District, and then on the right, your textbook resources will populate. We're looking for the green HMH Science Fusion. So I'm going to click right there on the words. I'm going to choose my grade level. I'm going to choose Science Fusion once again, and Science Fusion once again. And I know we're working in Unit 3, so I'm going to go to Matter. And we're going to be doing Unit 3, Lesson 1. And I want the lesson level resources. I would like to do the student resources. And I'm looking for the one that says Student View of Digital Lesson. So I'm going to click the box next to that this time, and I'm going to choose Import. And I'm going to choose Import again. And that puts that lesson right here below. So there's a couple of things we can do. If you want it to look like, if you want it to be inside the do box, we can actually do that. What we're going to do is click open our snipping tool and choose new. And I'm going to just take a picture of this right here. And I'm going to save this as Matter 1. I'm going to click Save. I'm going to close this box out. I'm going to come back up here to the top, and on my gear, I'm going to then go to Edit, so I can come in here to my Do box and add that image. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to link that image to that assignment. So I'm going to go to Insert Content and add an image, attach a file. It was in my pictures. I named it Matter. And I'm going to choose Open. So now I have this image here inside my Do. And I'm going to link that image in just a second, but I need to go back and get that link. So I save my changes. You can see I have that image here. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to right click on the link, and I am going to copy link address, go back up to the top, and then I'm going to click on the gear, click on Edit, scroll down, choose that image and choose link. And then I'm going to just paste that link in there that I just copied and insert. So now my students can get to everything they need right here in this chart. Okay, so they could just click on that and it's going to open right up to that digital lesson. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to my week of folder and go back into Monday. And then for this lesson down here, I don't really want it to show twice. So instead of leaving it down here, I'm going to click on my gear. I'm going to move this lesson. I'll just put it in course resources and I'm going to move it. That way they don't see it. It's not in there, but it is in that white dot folder, so it's hidden. Okay. So now the students can do all of their assignment right here within this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my next day so you can see how I would build my next day. I can come up here and click next, and it should take me to Tuesday. All right, so now I'm going to go to my Tuesday work. I'm going to click on my gear. I'm going to click on edit. And this time for my read, I have, let's see, an image I want. It was in my Google Drive. And it is this PDF right here. And I'm going to click import as embedded. I'm going to do another video to watch. So I'll go to insert content, go to YouTube. And I want Bill Nye this time. And I'm going to get import, and import is embedded. Again, I don't have a listen, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that row. And for my do this time, I'm going to do a Nearpod activity. Okay. And once again, I'm going to type in here just Nearpod activity. And I'm going to choose options. Remember to always choose that display inline and save changes. So I have my PDF for them to read. I have my Bill Nye that they're going to do, and then that Nearpod activity. So once again, I want to show you how to add a Nearpod activity. If I go to add materials, this time I'm going to come over to the right-hand side and choose Nearpod. The activity that I want them to create, or to work on, not create, is already in my library. So I'm going to choose that they're going to do it as student paced. And it adds that Nearpod activity right up here. So again, if I wanted to, I can take that image just like I did before, use my snipping tool, take an image of it, save this as Nearpod. Close that out. I'm going to edit this right here. Instead of saying Nearpod activity, I'm going to put that image in. And I'm going to say open. And I'm going to save changes. And then the same way I got that link before, I'm going to right click there. I'm going to copy link address. I'm going to come down, or click on the gear and edit, and click on that image and link that image to that address. So I'm going to click and paste in and insert and save my changes. So now when my students come down here, they can click on this and it'll go ahead and do it already has them logged in, so they can go ahead and start the Nearpod activity and do what it says. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my day so you can see what it looks like all together. Remember, I don't want to have it on here twice, so I'm going to click on the gear. I'm going to click on move, and I'm going to add this to course resources as well and move it. All right, so now I already have done Monday and Tuesday's lessons. So the next one I'm going to do is a Wednesday lesson. Okay, for today's work, I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to go into Wednesday science work. I'm going to click on the gear. I'm going to click on edit. For this week, we don't have a read, so I'm going to go ahead and skip down to watch. I'm going to do another video from YouTube. I'm going to do the crash course for kids. I'm going to click import as embedded. Since I'm not using the read, I'm going to come up, click on it, and delete the row. I'm also not doing a listen, so I'm going to delete the row. And for my due this week, I have a Google assignment. So just going to hold its spot. I'm going to type in Google assignment, and then I'm going to show you how to create a Google assignment. Options, I'm going to choose display inline, and I'm going to save changes. So we have our video and our due. So this time I'm going to come up to add materials, click on add materials, add assignment. I'm going to name this states of matter. Complete the interactive slideshow below. If I had students that had difficulties reading, I can click on the microphone here and I can add audio or video instructions. I'm going to do assign from, I'm going to choose my Google Drive apps. And I am going to, let's see, I'm going to find my assignment. Okay, my assignment was titled Science, and it's the Science Matter assignment here. So I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to do attach. And if you notice, it already makes a copy for each student. So I want this due date to be by the end of the week. So I'm going to choose October 15th for the due date. For my grades, it's going to be a formative grade. And then I choose create. It adds that assignment down at the bottom. They can just leave Google assignment in here, or I can do the same thing that I did in the past where I choose to take an image. So I'm going to click new. I'm going to take an image of this. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call this Science Matter assignment. I'm going to come back up and choose edit. Instead of having this in here, I'm going to take the words out, insert an image, attach a file, find my image, matter assignment, and save changes. Again, I need to get that link so I can link it. So I'm going to copy, right click and copy link address, come back up to my gear and edit it. I'm going to choose that image. I'm going to link that image, right click here and paste and insert and save changes. Okay, I don't want that to show twice, so I'm going to click on my gear, choose move, and move this to course resources and move again. Okay, so now my students are going to watch the video and they're going to do the assignment. And for the students, this is what it looks like. Or for teachers, I could see the assignment, I could see who's done it, but I can click right here and see what that assignment is. And this particular one is an interactive slideshow where they can go in and answer the questions and do the activity. Okay, and when they turn it in, I will be able to see all of their answers. I'm going to go back to my current unit, and the very last thing today that I'm going to add is an assessment. And so we're going to do that on Thursday. So I'm going to go to Thursday's day. I'm going to click on the gear. I'm going to click on edit. And since we're only doing an assessment, I'm actually going to not have anything on this day on this page except the assessment. So I can come in here. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this whole day. So I'm going to say delete for that page. And now I'm still in the folder for Thursday, but I'm going to go to add materials, import from resources. I'm going to go find my assessment. Again, it's in group, and then Dickinson Independent School District and Science Fusion. And this time I'm going to look for the assessment. So I'm looking for grade 4 assessments. Okay. Right now they're not in much of an order, but I am going to be working on that. You know it's a digital assessment because it has a puzzle piece. So we were in Unit 3, Lesson 1. So I'm going to look for Unit 3, Lesson 1. Here it is, Unit 3, Lesson 1. I'm going to check that, and I'm going to import. And I'm going to import again. HMH and Schoology has worked together to create the assessments for us, so it is already completely done. If I did want to edit it, I can click on the assessment here, and I can go in and I can read the questions, be sure they are good, take out, add, whatever I like. If I want to see what it looks like for a student, I click on preview and start attempt, and this is what the student sees. They have their their question and their answers. This particular quiz has 5 questions, and then they'll have a submit button. But for Thursday, all I want them to do is this test here, so they'll complete that test there. So I have successfully created an entire week's lesson except for Friday. And so for Friday, we're not going to be working in Schoology. So I'm going to come in here and just delete Friday. So my students now have something each day here to complete for their Schoology assignments. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or you can book me and I can come help you figure out how to do this for your classroom and your subject area.